You hear about Iran all the time in the news, right? But have you ever wondered why it commands so much global attention? Well, the answer isn't just about politics, it's about geography. Iran's location puts it right at the absolute center of the world's energy and trade flows. In this explainer, we're going to break down how this one unique position makes it one of the most pivotal players on the entire global stage. It all starts with this one number: 21%. Just let that sink in. That's more than a fifth of all the oil the entire world consumes every single day. And all of it has to squeeze through one single narrow waterway that Iran overlooks. This isn't just a statistic, folks. It's a lever of incredible global power. And that waterway is the Strait of Hormuz. You'll often hear it called the jugular vein of the global economy, and for good reason. I mean, just look at the map. It is incredibly narrow. The shipping lane for these massive supertankers is only a couple of miles wide in some spots. This simple fact of geography makes Iran the effective gatekeeper, giving it a powerful trump card in global politics. So what does it really mean to hold that kind of trump card? Let's unpack the power that comes with controlling the world's most important energy choke point. What's so fascinating about this is the sheer scale. We all know about major choke points like the Suez Canal or the Strait of Malacca, right? But just look at the numbers. Hormuz handles 21 million barrels of oil per day. That absolutely dwarfs Malacca and is nearly 4 times the volume of the Suez Canal. This makes it, without any question, the most critical maritime choke point for the global oil trade. So what's the big takeaway here? It means the global economy is incredibly vulnerable. Remember that ship, the Ever Given, that got stuck in the Suez Canal back in 2021? That single accident held up an estimated $9 billion in trade every single day. Now, just imagine a deliberate disruption in the far more critical Strait of Hormuz. The shock waves to energy prices and supply chains would be, well, catastrophic. Well, this kind of leverage inevitably creates friction. And that brings us to Iran's decades-long rivalry with the United States. For Washington, dealing with Iran has been a central pillar of its Middle East policy for generations now. And as you can see from this timeline, the relationship has been defined by one flashpoint after another, many of them centered right in the Persian Gulf. It really kicked off in 1979, when the revolution transformed Iran from an American ally into an adversary. From there, tensions just kept escalating, from the tragic shootdown of a civilian airliner in '88 to the diplomatic dance around the 2015 nuclear deal, and then the U.S. pulling out in 2018. That withdrawal led directly to more military tensions, including the seizure of oil tankers in 2019, proving just how quickly this waterway can become a conflict zone. But while the U.S. sees a strategic challenge, another global power sees something totally different: a strategic partner. For China, Iran represents a huge opportunity. It's a relationship built on mutual need and, let's be honest, a shared goal of counterbalancing American influence. And the scale of this partnership is just massive. In 2021, they signed a 25-year strategic agreement. China pledged a staggering $400 billion in investment for Iran's economy. And what does Iran provide in return? A steady, often discounted supply of oil, fueling China's economy completely outside the reach of U.S. sanctions. And this map perfectly illustrates the geoeconomic logic at play here. For China's huge Belt and Road Initiative, Iran is way more than just an energy source. It's a land bridge. You can see how Iran provides this crucial corridor connecting China to Europe, bypassing traditional sea routes. For Iran, this is a lifeline, integrating it into a powerful new economic order. But China isn't the only Asian giant looking to Iran for a strategic gateway. India also sees Iran as absolutely vital to its ambitions for regional connectivity, especially for reaching markets in Afghanistan and Central Asia. And the centerpiece of this vision is Chabahar Port. India has invested heavily in developing this port on Iran's southern coast. So why is it so important? Well, look at the map. It allows Indian goods to reach Afghanistan and Central Asia, completely bypassing their regional rival, Pakistan. It's a key node in what India hopes will become the north-south transport corridor. And this is where the plot really thickens. Just 72 kilometers down the coast from India's project at Chabahar is the port of Gwadar in Pakistan, which is being heavily developed with Chinese money. So what we're actually seeing here is a direct strategic competition, a chess match really, between Asia's two biggest powers playing out on the coast of Iran. So when you put all these pieces together, the deep partnership with China, the strategic project with India, and a growing alliance with Russia, a very clear pattern starts to emerge. Iran is no longer an isolated nation. It is cementing a decisive pivot to the east. And this pivot isn't just talk. Iran is being formally brought into major non-Western alliances. It's now a full member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. That's a Eurasian security bloc often seen as a counterbalance to NATO. It's also been admitted into BRICS, a group of major emerging economies. This integration, built on partnerships with Russia and China, signals that the era of isolating Iran may very well be over. So what does this all mean when we put it all together? It means that understanding Iran is absolutely fundamental to understanding the future of global geopolitics. This quote really captures the essence of it perfectly. Iran's power isn't just military or political, it's geographic. It sits at a permanent, unchangeable crossroads that simply cannot be ignored, and it shapes everything from the grand strategies of world powers all the way down to the price you pay at the pump. And that leaves us with a critical question for the future. As Iran moves from being an isolated state to a cornerstone of this emerging Eastern aligned network, are we witnessing the definitive end of a unipolar world? And what does it mean when the country holding the key to the world's energy supply firmly aligns itself with one side of a new global divide? That's something to think about.